Welcome back to another video. History is filled with examples of brilliant and important people who shaped the world as we know it, but at the same time were kind of assholes. There's a huge difference between your personal life and your professional life. Somebody could find the cure for cancer while also having an extramarital affair and a shitty relationship with their kids, for example. One such example of this kind of a person is Elon Musk. Now, I have a somewhat complicated relationship with Elon Musk because at first I was somewhat of a fan. I love space, more about that in a later video. I became a huge follower of SpaceX's Starship program back in 2020 during the pandemic when they were first testing some of the prototypes down there, and it was at a time where there wasn't a whole lot of good news to go around in the world. That's still the case. Sure, we're not really in a pandemic anymore, but there's a lot of other stuff going on that's kind of overshadowed the pandemic at this point. But the point still stands. As a space nerd, I think the whole Starship program is a really cool distraction from all the stupid crap going on in the world, as is everything else going on right now with space exploration and space travel. It's all really cool. Again, more about that in another video. I also want to add, as somebody who understands the threat of climate change, I appreciate that Tesla has at least driven the EV market to be competitive and more companies to produce electric vehicles at a time where we really need them. So I understand Elon Musk's contribution to society and to civilization, and so I respect him for that, right? Another thing with Elon is I remember when he was on SNL a few years ago, and he said he had Asperger's syndrome. And in his interviews with Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, I really felt like I could relate to his awkwardness and the way he kind of carried himself, you know, the way he kind of hyper-fixated on different things, and at the end of the day, we're both nerds. I myself have Asperger's syndrome. I just like to tell people I have autism though, because Asperger's is a terrible name. It might as well just be called cockwaffles. But seeing as it was named after a Nazi sympathizer, I guess you could also call it Aspiesies. But as time wore on, Elon Musk has continued to do stupid and shitty things that I personally do not condone and would not do. I also don't see the point of being worth hundreds of billions of dollars at a time of unprecedented wealth inequality and inflation rates. So my point here is, people are complicated and you have to separate the person from the work they've done. Because I feel like people deserve respect for what they've accomplished, even if they don't deserve respect as a person. Look at Thomas Jefferson, one of the founders of this country. He wrote the most important founding documents of the United States. He was a slave owner who had sex with his slaves and fathered children with his slaves. And then there's George Washington, whose humility has paved the way for a peaceful transition of power in this country that has been going on for over 200 years. Hopefully it continues. And he was also a huge slave owner. Abraham Lincoln was massively racist. Alexander Hamilton had an extramarital affair.
Alexander Hamilton had a torrid affair, and he wrote it down right there.
And so did J. Robert Oppenheimer. Well, I guess he lost both battles, didn't he? But my point is, you can be a smart, innovative, and impactful person and also have a shit show of a personal life. Back to Elon Musk. He is smart in a lot of regards. His leadership is driving a new age of space exploration, the switch from gasoline to electric vehicles, and new medical breakthroughs with Neuralink. And I know a lot of you say Musk is a fraud, he's a fraud. Well, here's a tweet from Tom Mueller, who is one of the chief engineers at SpaceX for years. I'm pretty sure Musk knows what he's talking about when it comes to rockets and other things that he has put his entrepreneurial endeavors in. And if you continue to just not buy it, you just got a hate boner. You just got a hate boner. And understandably so. You know, he's a dickhead, he's a billionaire, and we're all cash strapped, and wealth inequality is a big problem right now. And you know, all of those things I just mentioned, they all have issues of their own. None of them are perfect, just like Musk himself and everything and everyone else. But I do think it's important to separate the person from their creations, because while all these creations aren't perfect and definitely have issues of their own, it's important that we recognize that, not through the lens of having a hate boner for the guy just because he's a rich D-bag. Chances are, way down the line, we will remember Musk more for his contributions rather than his faults. I think building the most powerful rocket in the world that will return humans to the moon and take us to Mars will be more significant than buying a steaming pile of shit known as Twitter and making it worse. But you can also argue that Twitter getting worse has a big impact on civilization too. Kind of want to do another video about that at some point. And as I said earlier, at a time of such lopsided wealth inequality and rising costs, resentment against the rich is at an all-time high right now, and for good reason. Countering that though, I feel like there's a lot of good to come out of, say, what SpaceX is doing, because it's inspiring a lot of people, driving a lot of people to get into STEM fields, driving competition. There's other private launch companies that are springing up all the time. They need employees. People are going into STEM fields, starting rocket companies, driving this new industry, or just providing them with something inspirational while there doesn't seem to be a lot of good news in the world right now. Like I said earlier, really because of SpaceX. Similar thing with Tesla. People are making more EVs now because Tesla put a bunch of them out there. They might not be the best, but it's driving competition and incentivizing innovation. In my opinion, it's a damn shame that most people can't appreciate what SpaceX is doing and just want to focus on the negatives. Oh, it's associated with Elon Musk, therefore it sucks. Look, I'm not a fan of Elon Musk as a person either, but I have to respect his contributions. And if you just put that hate boner aside, if you let that hate boner get flaccid, then I think you'll be able to open your mind more to the possibility that this stuff is pretty cool.
Unique design suggests
There were no fatalities.
Huh? Oh, come on! You gotta admit this is cool!
And it's making the future kind of exciting, unlike a lot of other things. Well, what do you think? Do you think people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, do you think that their presence is justified because they're doing a lot of good things for the world while also being D-bags themselves? Or do you think that billionaires are just bad through and through no matter what, even if they do end up having a good impact? Or do you think what they're doing is not good at all? Let me know down in the comments below, and consider subscribing. I'm trying to start doing weekly videos of just about stuff. I do some comedy videos too. This is my second actual YouTube video, so I'm really just trying to find my footing, starting out with YouTube. So yeah, consider supporting my fledgling channel, and yeah, hope to see you again next week.